Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Mansa Queen. So I got a lot of requests for more cake videos, and guys, I'm telling you, I am watching and I'm responding to all your comments as much as possible. So today I am bringing you the much requested red velvet cake, and it's also another box cake mix hack because you guys love them, and I have so many requests. So today we're gonna doctor up the Duncan Hines perfectly moist red velvet with our own homemade frosting. So without further ado, let's get started. So as usual, I am going with Duncan Hines box cake mix. You can go with any brand of your choice, but I really like the Duncan Hines brand. It is really moist. So on the back, the instruction says you would need 1 cup of water, 3 large eggs, and 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. But you already know we're not doing that. We don't follow the rules. We're making our own rules, honey. So in a large bowl, I am going to start by mixing my dry ingredients, which would be the box cake mix, and this I believe is the 15-ounce box. And to that, I'm going to add 1 3.4-ounce box of chocolate fudge jello, and this is the instant chocolate pudding mix. We're going to add 1 box of that. And guys, when I tell you this just changes the whole texture of the cake, believe me, it sure does. So we're going to empty 1 box of that, and I'm just going to go in and give it a quick stir. Those are the only dry ingredients that we have, and just give that a quick stir and put that aside, and we would move on through the rest of the ingredients. And in another bowl, I am going to start by combining the wet ingredients. So here I have 1 cup of melted butter at room temperature, and as usual I am using my Kerrygold butter for that really high quality texture cake that I'm looking for. So 1 cup of melted butter to substitute 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. And over here I have 1/2 cup of buttermilk at room temperature. So the recipe asks for 1 cup of water, remember? So we're splitting that. We're doing 1/2 cup of buttermilk at room temperature because that's important. And then the other half, we're going to use sour cream. So 1 cup of water, we're going to substitute it with 1/2 cup of sour cream at room temperature and 1/2 cup of buttermilk at room temperature. Guys, let's talk about moisture over here. So we would also need eggs, and instead of 3 eggs as usual, I am going with 4 eggs, also at room temperature. I am just using my hand mixer now to just give it a quick stir because of the lumps in the sour creams. I just want to break that up. To that I am adding 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. It is a must-have if you want that rich flavor in your cake. So just 1 teaspoon of that, and I'm getting the other ingredient from my refrigerator because we want that cold. And this right here is 1/4 of a cup of prepared coffee, and all I used was my instant coffee. Guys, let me tell you, this is a must-have if you want to nail this red velvet cake hack. You need to have that cold coffee. You need to have that. So I'm going in with my hand mixer, and at this point, as usual, I would follow the box instructions, which basically say to beat at low speed for 30 seconds. And then after 30 seconds, you want to bump up your speed to medium high, and you beat it for 2 minutes. So because I added a lot of extra ingredients, I actually beat mine for a little over 2 minutes, but no more than 2.5 minutes, okay? So once you do that, you will see that your batter is going to get thicker and thicker. This right here, the consistency we're going for, it's almost going to be like a homemade pound cake. But with the addition of the coffee and the pudding, it's going to be so moist and dense and just really rich. So yeah, this is me. I have baked the cake for 2.5 minutes, and as you can see, I've gone ahead to prepare my pan. One of my subscribers was asking me how I get my pan coated evenly in flour. So the trick is to just go lightly with the butter. You don't want to put too much butter, because when you go in with the flour, what it's going to do is it's going to leave lumps in it. So just go ahead and pour the batter into your coated pan, and at this point your oven should have been heated up to 350 degrees. I am using a bundt pan, so I'm just going by the instructions. But again, since I added extra ingredients, the the box instruction says to do about 35 minutes for the bundt pan, but mine took about 38 minutes in total. So make sure at the 35th mark you go in with a toothpick or a skewer, and when it comes out clean, your cake is definitely done. So here it is. I just pop it, drop it, release them air bubbles, and into an oven it goes, 350 degrees, and it's going to be baking for 35 to 38 minutes. As usual, I am using the middle rack, and I am not using my conventional bake. I'm just using the regular bake in my oven, which bakes a little slower, and you get a perfectly moist cake. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and make a homemade frosting. Very simple. I have 8 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese at room temperature. You can see it is nice and really soft. You want it as soft as possible. And to that, I am just going to go ahead and mix it up real quickly. This is the same frosting that I use on my carrot cake that I uploaded before this video, so no changes absolutely. To that, I'm adding 1 stick of butter at room temperature, which is equivalent to half a cup of butter. Again, go for high quality butter if you want top-notch baking every time. Good quality, yes. That's a tip that you cannot miss. To that, I am adding 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract. Vanilla makes everything taste good, makes baking taste even better, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and incorporate it, and you can see that it is creaming up really nicely. Please, if you were enjoying this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. It really helps my video so the YouTube can recommend it for more people to see it. And lastly, I'm going in with 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. And as you can see, I am going in gradually. You don't just want to dump all the sugar at once. It's always a good tip when you're baking and you're adding dry ingredients to an already wet mixture. Go gradually, and you would always tend to not overbeat and just want to get that perfect cake, because the key here is to keep our cake as moist as possible when it comes out of the oven. So just add it gradually, give it a good mix, and once everything is incorporated, you would have a nice, rich, and very delicious frosting. If you want your frosting sweeter, you can go ahead and add up to 2 or 2.5 cups of sugar. So our cake is out of the oven, nice and fresh, and oh baby, can you see that? It looks just like my pound cake. See that crack right there? That's an indication that we did something good over here. So we're going to let it cool down completely. You want the cake to go all the way down to room temperature, because we're going to get ahead and frost it. So here it is. It is now down to room temperature. And guys, can you see that bounce? Let me pause for a second over there. Can your cake bounce like that? Well, it will if you follow these instructions. So my frosting has been in the refrigerator, and as you can see, it has set a little bit, so it is a little more firmer. At this point, we're just going to go ahead with no rhyme or rhythm. Just go ahead and frost that cake. It is already beautiful. It's already delicious. We're just trying to frost it, okay? To my new subscribers, I want to thank you guys so much for joining the Mansa team. To my returning subscribers, you guys are the VIPs. I thank and appreciate each and every one of you, because without you, there is no Mansa Queen, for real. So here is a frosted cake. We're going to go ahead and cut it. And can you see how moist this cake is? It's already bouncing as I'm trying to cut it. That's an indication that this cake is really, really soft. So we're going to go ahead and get out a piece so we can do a final verdict and see how it turned out. At first glance, baby, look at that. Now you can see that the color has turned into this deep, rich red, almost like a burgundy color, and that's because we added that pudding. A lot of the box cake mixes already come with the cocoa pudding, the red velvet, but adding that one just elevates it. And can you see that? It is so soft, delicious. This by far was one of my favorite box cake hacks that I have done. If you like my previous ones, trust me, you would love this one if you get to try it. I mean, videos can't lie. Can you see how decadent this is? Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Until I catch you in my next one, y'all stay safe. I love you all. Bye.